Hey FPC friends and family, this is Pastor Amy here, and I just wanted to touch base with you with a little midweek reflection as part of our Reconnection series. We're in the second week, and Joshua began us 2 Sundays ago with a sermon about being created for connection based on those earliest texts about who we are in the book of Genesis, that we are created for connection to one another, that it's not good for us to be alone. And then last week I was speaking from the book of Romans chapters 12 and 13, where we'll be spending a little bit of time over the next few weeks thinking about what it means to reconnect. And last week I talked about the idea of being commanded to love. And these first 2 weeks, created for connection and commanded to love, have really been about reminding us who we were created to be in the world, connected to one another in relationships that are loving and caring, that move us outside ourselves toward the other, even when that connection can be difficult and require work on our part. It's been a reminder, I think, to all of us of the value of connection, letting us recognize some of the ways that we have had to disconnect over the past 15 months and what it'll look like. Let us imagine what it'll look like to begin to take those intentional steps to reconnecting to people in our lives, to family and friends, to rebuilding those relationships, but also reconnecting to our way of being in the world, to ways that we work and serve beyond ourselves. What does it look like to kind of reforge those connections that shape who we are and shape how we live faithfully in the world? I know y'all have been thinking a lot about this too. I've had a lot of you come to me and say, this feels just right. It's really timely right now. This is exactly the season we're in, this reconnection season. I've also had some people come to me and say, well, are you just hoping to get people back in church? And I said, well, that's a piece of it. Our faith lives are an important part of how we live in the world. And of course, we love to see you here at the church connecting with one another and with the work that we do together at FPC. But it's broader than that. It's really about our connections all across the spectrum of our lives. Personal connections, work connections, service connections, and faith connections. And so we just encourage you to be thinking about what it looks like to reclaim connection in your life. One of our members came to me just today, Carol Grimm, and she had been thinking since Sunday's sermon about a poem that she wrote years ago at a really difficult and low point in her life, about the value of connecting with some particular people in her life who really came alongside her and walked with her through that difficult season. And she had written a poem about it. That was 40 years ago. And she just this week revised that poem to open it up to apply not just to her individual life, but to all of us. And it speaks to this common need for connection, exactly what we are created for and the value in it. And so I'm so excited to have a video of Carol reading her poem to us this week, because I think it just really gets to the heart of why we're doing this reconnection work together at FPC. So enjoy the video, and I hope that all of you are having a really wonderful week. We'll see you again on Sunday. Take care.
Human beings need a friend, a place, a time to lay aside the reins, the masks, the games. Human beings yearn to touch, to share, to feel, to communicate their pain, their joy, their being. And so renewed, face reality, not wiser perhaps, but not alone.